Okay, so let's make a start. So welcome to your pregnancy yoga class today. We're going to start in a seated position, so just grab any old regular pillow or a couple of pillows off your sofa and pop them down underneath your bottom and come into easy pose, which is a little bit like your cross-legged pose, but we don't want to get pins and needles. So we're going to bring one foot close into the groin and have the other foot slightly in front. Just start to sit up really tall, first of all, and squeeze the shoulders up to the ears, take them back and drop them down. So especially if you've been sat at a desk this week or on a laptop or just using your phone a lot, it just pulls us into this slouchy position. Just do a few lovely big shoulder circles, up, back and down, just to open up the chest. And then think about squeezing your shoulder blades down and in towards each other and feeling super broad across the front of the chest and the collarbones. So we're going to have the hands in an upright position. We're going to draw in a bit of energy today. So we want to feel energized from this. Everyone was feeling a little bit tired. So take your first finger and thumb and lightly touch them. So you're doing that little OK sign. And then turn the hands upright and place the back of the hands on the knees. And if you're comfortable with your eyes closed, go ahead and close the eyes. And if not, just kind of peep through your eyelashes towards the floor. Bring your chin down a few degrees so you feel the back of the neck lengthening. And then have a lovely sense of kind of leaning back against an imaginary wall. Anyone that's got really achy backs, then just lean back against your sofa or the bed or the wall. Just adjust your position so you can take some support if you need it. We're going to just spend a minute or so here quietly arriving and settling in for our practice. So take a lovely big deep breath into your whole body and a big sigh out. And do that 2 or 3 more times. Feeling that expansion with your inhale and that release with your exhale. Another couple of breaths here. Maybe taking in a little sip of extra breath at the top. And then on the next exhale, just allow the breath to return to normal for a moment. So just watching your breath quietly coming and going and feeling your body resting on the ground. So feeling the contact underneath your legs. Notice the crown of the head growing tall towards the ceiling. Chin down, back of the head leaning back just ever so slightly. And then just relax down across your forehead and your eyebrows. And all around the eyes. Just almost feel like a warm, calming glow moving down through your body into the cheekbones and the jaw. If you relax the teeth slightly apart. And moving down the neck and into the shoulders. Just feeling that almost warm, calming glow move through your body, feeling it inside and around you as it goes down the arms into the elbows. And down into the wrists. Relax your arms completely. So can you make them feel just a little bit more heavy into the hands? And then notice that light tingle between the thumb and the finger. So if you could slide a piece of paper between the two. Lightly extending the other 3 fingers out. Noticing any sensation in the center of the palms. And then feeling that warm, calming glow, moving down your torso, feeling all around your heart, expansive and open, moving down the spine, around the waist, and then all around the tummy. Feeling that warm, calming glow deep into the pelvis. Just feel the softness in your tummy. Feel the space you're holding for your babies, wherever you're at in your pregnancy journey. Just relax your belly a little bit more. And then moving down into the hips. Feel that warmth into the hips. And down into the thighs, relaxing the muscles, relaxing the inner thighs, relaxing the bones. And then down into the knees, down into the shins and the calves, the ankles, and down into the tops of the feet, and the soles of the feet, and into all 10 toes. And just feel that warm, calming glow move all the way down through your whole body, into your feet, into your toes. And then allow it to kind of move down through your mat, through the floor, gently through the building you're in, and deep into the earth. So have a sense of really anchoring yourself into this space. And then drawing your attention back to your breath, breathing in through the nose, a lovely full breath deep into the belly, letting the belly expand outwards like a balloon, and then exhaling through a soft mouth. So sighing from the back of the throat. It sounds a bit like a ha sound. It's quite audible. And as you sigh from the back of the throat, just imagine you're kind of steaming up your sunglasses to give them a clean, that kind of noisy, soft sigh. And deep breath into a soft belly. Exhale, long sigh. Deeper breath into the belly. Fill up the belly completely, and when you get to the top, bigger exhale. So every round of breath, we are lengthening that breath. We're slowing it down. We're making it deeper. We're taking in more air all the way into the tummy. And then we're sighing out more air all the way to the end of the exhalation. Keep going with these full, slow, deep breaths. And notice when the belly gets filled up with the breath, like that balloon is full, that you can then expand the ribs and lift the heart and the chest and fill the torso right up to the throat. Take another sip of breath at the top and then exhale, steaming up your sunglasses to give them a clean, that hot sigh from the back of the throat. So we're going to do that breath for another half a minute or so. Just a reminder that this is exactly the breath we want to do when we're having contractions, or even if you're having any big tightenings or Braxton Hicks in pregnancy. Just finding a place where you can lean forward and breathe into the belly will really help. Use them as practice runs. And then on the day, because we've practiced this so much, this breathing is going to just be automatic. We're going to just listen to the breath, kind of find it like a little meditation that you can listen to as you move through your contractions and meet each and every one with a sense of ease, because you've got ease around the breath. And when we start to panic, we breathe short and shallow, high in the chest. And that's not a great place to meet contractions with. It will make them feel more painful and more intense. So if we can regulate our breath, we're going to send more calming signals around the nervous system and basically give us a massive coping technique. So we're going to carry on with that lovely breathing. Keep the eyes closed as you sit up tall and bring the palms together and give them a little vigorous rub. Get a little bit of heat into the hands. Spread your toes. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out, and on your next inhale, we're going to expand the arms out to the sides, opening the chest and lifting the heart. Exhale, curl yourself into a little ball as you cross the arms and give yourself a lovely big squeezy hug. Relax the head. Inhale, big expanse. Open the chest, stretch your fingers away from you. Exhale, cross those arms the other way, and another lovely big hug. You're all doing exactly enough. Inhale, deep breath in, spread your toes, stretch your fingers. Exhale, cross those arms and just gently curl the tailbone under, let the head release. Inhale, biggest breath. Open the whole front of the body. Exhale, biggest sigh, squeeze every drop out of the body. We're just going to go for 2 more. Make these the biggest breaths you've had all week. Really squeeze those arms as you hug. Bit of self-nurture, self-care. Remembering to put yourself first. We have to fill ourselves up before we can give to others. And then coming back down to center, we'll just do a couple more of those shoulder rolls, up, back and down. And then inhaling, bringing the arms up over the head. Just interlace the hands, point the index finger, and then imagine you're pointing to the ceiling and able to draw lovely big circles on the ceiling. So just start to make that space around the ribs, around the waist. See if you can lift your ribs almost an inch up away from your pelvis. So great for digestion, great for making space. So we're pressing down into the feet a little bit as we reach up tall out through the hands. And see if you can keep going with this burst breathing. It'll be a bit trickier to breathe into the belly. You're going to probably breathe into the ribs here. But nice, slow, deep, noisy breaths. In through the nose if you haven't got a cold. Out through that mouth. Nice loose jaw. Now pausing, let's do our circles the other way. Nice and gently. If you've got any twinges in the back, you want to move slower and make the movement smaller. If you're feeling all right today and you want to kind of go for it a little bit more, explore the movement, be a bit more expressive. Just listen to your body. Make the practice work for you. Good, now exhale, bring the hands down behind the back, interlace them so the palms are facing in and fold your shoulders all the way back. We're just trying to lift the arms up away from the body and take a lovely big breath into the heart. Expanding the chest. Big sigh out when you're ready. Just keep breathing the whole way through. Inhale, making a little bit more space. Exhale, relaxing those shoulder blades, maybe lengthening the neck. So we can hold a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders, especially if we've done a lot of desk orientated stuff. And being pregnant really shifts our posture around. So just one more breath here as you lift your hands up away from your body. Relax those shoulder blades, almost give them a little squeeze. And then gently release those arms. Little shoulder roll here. Great. So now we're going to just open up the knees a little bit. We're going to turn one leg behind us. And we're going to have the other leg out in front. So your legs are coming into a kind of almost 90 degree shape. And then place your hands on the floor and just see if you can lean forward. So our bellies are going to come into that space between the thighs. We're going to kick out through the heels, flex the toes back towards your knees, and try and bring your head towards your knee. So as much as your bumps will allow. And then take your head down towards that front foot. And then back towards the knee. So your bump's definitely going to maybe get in the way a little bit here. But see if you can make the bump rest in that space that you've got between your legs. And then this is a lovely little kind of hip stretch. So as you lean into the knee should be on the floor. You should be feeling this all up into the glutes, into the hips on that side as you slowly try and travel down to the foot and back to the knee. Good, now walking yourself back up to sitting, we're going to bring this back leg right in towards the bottom. Tuck it under so the top of the foot's on the floor and the sole of the foot's facing up and your toes are pointing straight back. Make sure they're not pointing out to the side. Maybe just adjust yourself on the pillow and bring this front foot into the thigh. So you're in a little mermaid position. Now with the hands on the knees, we're going to start to tilt the tailbone under. So scoop your bottom under. It's going to round your back as you look down, and then tilt your tailbone all the way out. It's going to lift you up through the chest, arching your spine the other way, shoulders roll back, heart forward. And then when you're ready, roll the tailbone under and roll yourself into that little ball. Inhale, tilt the tailbone out, start to lift up through the chest. So we're going to move slowly with control, leading the movement from the tailbone and kind of allowing the whole spine to unravel, unroll itself. We're going to exhale as we curl up, maybe squeezing the pelvic floor a little bit. Inhale as we sit up, opening the chest back. Exhale, little curl up. Inhale, little sit up. So just moving through your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, spreading the toes a little bit, and just making this feel really nice in your hips and in your pelvis. Good. Coming up to center, take your right hand down behind you and bring your left hand across to the right knee. So I'm facing kind of away from my legs. I've got that leg behind me still. I'm facing into the leg where the foot is on the thigh. And then picking up this back hip, inhale, lift up and just look over your shoulder. So you're coming into like a little twist, as if you're a mermaid sat on a rock looking over your shoulder behind you. When you're ready, you exhale, bring your bottom back down. Inhale, roll up. See if you can get a little stretch from that back knee all the way up through the hip, and exhale, sit down. So keep breathing, keep moving with your breath. Go as fast or as slow as you need, and just think about taking that really full deep breath into the belly, keeping the tummy lovely and soft, and that noisy sigh, sighing on your sunglasses to give them a clean. You're just rocking and rolling here, coming up and coming down. We're going to do one more here. Big breath in, press that knee away from you, feel that little opening through the hip, and then come back to center. Well done. So we're going to gently undo those legs, take them into 90-90 the other way. So it's a little bit more open. The back leg, the foot is pointing out, and I've got a little kind of dog leg 90-90 going on. My front leg's at more of a 90 degree. And then placing one hand down on the outside of the knee, one hand down near the foot if you can. Lengthen the spine so you get lots of space. And then exhale, start to fold your heart forward and down. So again, being mindful not to over squash any bumps, but then trying to just lean that knee into the floor and bring your head towards the knee. Flex your toes. So toes towards your knees, kick out through the heel, and then just little zigzag with your body as you bring your head down towards the foot and then back up towards the knee. Keep breathing. If you need to sit up and have a little break and then come back down again, do so. But what we're really looking for is getting into the hips, the inner thighs, the outside of the hip, and the glute. So just find that point where it feels like it's really getting in there. Maybe pause there for a couple of breaths. Enjoy the stretch. And then when you're ready, we're just walking ourselves back up. Bringing that foot all the way in to meet the thigh. Bringing the other leg all the way into your bottom. And turning it kind of under. So the top of the foot is on the ground and the sole of the foot's facing up to the ceiling. Your toes need to go straight back behind you. So make sure they're not sticking out to the side now. Hands on the knees, we're going to rock the pelvis under, tailbone under, roll down. When you're ready, inhale, tailbone out, slowly unravel all the way back up. Exhale, curling up into that little ball, letting the chin come down, the heart goes back, the shoulders go forward. Inhale, tailbone sticks out, roll all the way up, heart forward, shoulders back. So really enjoy this through the whole of the spine. Try and get this idea of the back of the head all the way down to the tip of the tailbone, all working together. So when we're up, we're opening the whole front of the spine and the throat. And when we're down, we're kind of opening the back of the spine out behind you. We're going to do one more big breath here. And one more big exhale. And then coming up, sitting up straight in the middle, take the left hand down behind you and the right hand across to your left knee. We're going to inhale, lift up that back hip and sit bone off your pillow. Look over your shoulder, little mermaid sitting on the rock, and exhale, sit your bottom back down in center. Inhale, press into that back knee, lengthen yourself away from the knee. Exhale, bring your bottom back down. So again, just moving with your own breath, with your own rhythm. When you come up into that full expression of the pose, look out the corner of your eyes. So you're really gaining perspective, giving your eyes a little stretch. We're going to do a few more big breaths here. Inhale, big breath out. So really lovely little sequence for the hips, the pelvis, if you've had any achy pubic bones or any lower back. So one last one here, and then coming back to center. So let's take that leg out from behind us. We'll take the other one out. If you have had an achy kind of pubic bone, you're going to keep your feet about mat width or hip width apart. And if you haven't had an achy pubic bone, you're going to open your legs a little bit wider. We're going to just kick out through the heel to start off with, toes back towards your face, placing the hands down behind you, press into the fingers so you can sit up tall, and then start to almost use the hands to help you press your chest and your heart forward. So we're just coming into a very slight little forward bend with the torso as you kick out through those heels. Legs are super active, so press the calves down as much as you can. Spread your little toe away from the big toe as much as you can. And just inhale, lengthen through the front of the body. Exhale, maybe wiggle yourself forward another few millimeters. So nice soft tummy. We're going to bring the hands in front of us, interlace them, and then start to do some fantastic circles here, reaching down towards one foot, across to the other, and back up. So really circling the arm. Careful not to over squash the top of the bumps. So we want to grow tall out through the crown of the head at the same time. But really enjoy this one down into those legs. Backs of the legs, inner thighs. Keep kicking out through the heel. Keep your toes super active. And keep breathing. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now we're going to pause here and just go the other way. Keeping your tummy lovely and soft. Imagine you've got puppet string from the crown of your head, just drawing you nice and tall through the spine. Just a couple more breaths in our seated sequence. Good. Really well done. Last one. So bringing the legs back in, kind of coming back into mermaid, so we can place the hands onto the floor and walk ourselves around into all fours. So you might want your pillow underneath your knees here for a little bit of support and cushioning for the knees, so that can be really handy. Otherwise, if your mat's really squidgy, you might be fine. And then we're going to come into all fours with the knees hip distance apart, the hands nice and spread wide, little bend in the elbows. And if your wrists get achy, bend your elbows a bit more and press into your fingers, or come onto the fists, or drop down onto the forearms. So those are your options. Now we're going to start by just opening the knees just a fraction wider and tuck your toes under. We're going to just look up, but be careful not to drop the back of the waist too far down. Just look up and open the chest. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the chin in and round the back up towards the ceiling. So coming into a little angry cat pose, tailbone under. Just take a few breaths here for a moment, breathing into the back of the waist, breathing into the sacrum, and trying to find a little bit of space all around that lower back. We're just going to breathe in and out there. Pressing into the hands, pressing into the knees, and arching your back as much as your bumps can comfortably allow. Now make sure your knees are wide enough for this next movement. You might need to make them a smidging wider. So from here, staying with a rounded back, start to bring your bottom down to the heels. So we're going to land the elbows on the ground, and then almost as if you're about to rub your nose on the mat, start to pull your heart forward by drawing your arms back. Activate your hands as you keep coming forwards, and then you're going to be looking up at the end of the move, so back where we started. Exhale, chin in, round your back. Push your bottom to the heels. Inhale, land on your elbows. Bring your heart forward as you squeeze your hands back and then come all the way up. Exhale, round the back. Press your bottom to the heels. Land on the elbows. Big inhale, scoop yourself forwards, coming all the way up. Exhale, round. So it's a very circular movement. It's very circular with the breath. See if you can keep it really flowing, and see if you can kind of not pause at the end of the exhale or the end of the inhale. Keep your circular movement going. So exhaling, rounding, sitting back, landing on the elbows, and almost kind of turning your chest inside out as you scoop forward with the heart. I'm going to do this a few more times. It's going to be good work for your arms, maybe get a bit of heat in the body, and it's amazing for lower back. So really just moving through your spine as best as you can. I'm going to do one more here. Good. And then as you come through from that last one, we're going to come into peaceful warrior. So if you have got an achy pubic bone, you're going to keep your knees where they are and just place the hands on the floor and bring the head down. And if you haven't got an achy pubic bone, open your knees as wide as your mat, there or thereabouts. Toes are going to touch, and then rest your bottom all the way down onto your heels. Lengthen your arms forward if you can, and bring your forehead onto the floor. If that feels too uncomfortable for anyone, maybe because your bump's in an awkward position today, or you've got the wrong leggings on, or you just feel a bit tight somewhere in the body, then just bring your hands in and place them one on top of the other so you can put your head on top of the hands. So just having that little bit of height under the head can help. Wherever you are, definitely make sure your head is resting, either on the hands or on the floor. Now we're going to change the breath here into golden thread breath. So making a little hole in the lips. I want you to imagine you're blowing out 100 candles on a birthday cake. So you're going to take a lovely big exhalation and just keep blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing that breath away. When you're ready, inhale. And then another golden thread breath, blowing out those candles. As you exhale, think and feel the word relax. Can you let your whole body melt onto the floor? Can you let your forehead have a little massage as you lean your head, the weight of the head into the forehead? And just a reminder, this breath is amazing for in between your contractions. So as soon as you felt the last sensation of your contraction pass, do 3 or 4 golden thread breaths to completely relax your whole body, your jaw, your pelvic floor. Soften everywhere with your exhale and almost drift off towards sleep. A really powerful tool in labour to keep us focused, even on the in-betweens, and to keep us calm whilst we conserve our energy. So one more big sigh, and then pressing into the hands, inhaling. We're going to come back into all fours for some contraction practice. So setting up your hands again, nice wide hands, little bend in the elbows. Being careful not to arch your back, so send your tailbone away from the head. And then we're going to move into our circles. So just circling your body really easily over the hands and the knees. I'm going to suggest today closing your eyes, or just looking through those eyelashes, taking a deep birth breath into the belly, and that deep sigh as if you're steaming up your sunglasses again, and just keep going with your birth breathing. Releasing your shoulders, releasing your hips, leaning into the hands, leaning into the knees. So taking that sense of grounding as you lean into each of those four corners, keeping the chin in and the back of the neck long. Just keep breathing into that belly. So really lovely to help the baby get into a good position. Really lovely for when we're having contractions. I'm just going to breathe in and out here as we circle. So thinking about now circling your bottom, leaning that bottom back just a little bit more as if you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your sit bones. Really stirring, great for helping with dilation. We're going to take one more breath here and then circle the other way. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So we're finding that rhythm. It's like a dance. We're moving and grooving with our bodies, with our breath, and listening to the sound of our breath. So our mind is focused on that sound. Leading into those hands and knees, feeling that sense of security and grounding from the floor beneath us. And just breathing through any sensations that you might be feeling in your body today, or any sensations of contractions on the big day. Good, now we're going to have a little rest. So finding either the knees wide or leaving the knees where they are and coming back down into your peaceful warrior, your child's pose. Either head on the floor, arms extended, or stacking those hands under the forehead if you need a bit of extra support. Shoulders down away from the ears. And then moving straight into your golden thread breath. So blowing out 100 birthday candles, the longest exhale you can. Think and feel the word relax, let your whole body melt. Let tension go. Let the floor hold you. So with practice, you can do one of these breaths and feel your whole body soften. Sometimes it can take 2 or 3 breaths, but really you can get this down. So in one breath, you're there, almost drifting off into that place between wake and sleep. As you do your lovely sighs, following the end of the exhale, watching it disappear, giving it your full attention. Feeling that space after you exhale where nothing happens. Feeling the rush of the inhale. Where does that go in the body? And repeat. And there's a lot in there to focus your mind on when we're in labour. If you can keep your mind settled on that breath, you're going to keep your mind out of the way, which will help your body crack on with what it needs to do. So we're going to come into another brilliant position for labour. So back into all fours, inhaling. We're going to do our figure of 8 next. So as you do your figure of 8, lead with the head and imagine you're writing a giant number 8 on your mat. Where the head goes, the body follows. We usually inhale as we roll forward and exhale as we roll back, but no hard and fast rules. Maybe close your eyes and enjoy that sway. Great for helping the brain go a bit fuzzy, helping get rid of thoughts, helping us find a place of calm. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Now when we're in labour, if things get a little bit intense, we often will make noises and sounds. It's less useful to go, ah. It's more useful to go, ooh. Keeps the pelvic floor open, keeps you calm. So as you do your lovely figure of 8 move, we're going to take a deep breath in, and nobody can hear you because you're only in your own space and you're all on mute. But we're going to do a lovely low ooh. Ooh. Good, and then start to do your figure of 8 the other way round. It might feel a bit clunky. See if you can smooth it out. And then take a deep breath in again. And when you're ready, take another ooh. Good. At the end of your next exhale, fold yourself back down into child's pose. Find your golden thread breath, blowing out 100 candles, and think and feel the word relax as you melt onto the floor. Notice how you feel in your own experience. No need to think of words to describe it, but just be in that kind of fuzzy headspace, slightly meditative headspace, maybe feeling tingles or sensations around the body, being aware of the touch of your body on the ground. Just absorb it all with a real relaxed awareness. Just soften into it, almost like you've got that warm, calm glow all through your whole body, fingertips to the toes, resting onto the ground. Don't need to be anywhere else, don't need to be doing anything else. This is just for you and your baby. One more big sigh. And then when you're ready, inhaling, coming back up. This time, we're going to take the left foot and just bring it up to the outside edge of our left hand. And we're just going to do some small circles here, slightly lungy circles, circling the knee towards the big toe, then rolling out to the little toe, and then rolling back to the heel. So this left leg is making a kind of anti-clockwise circle. If you really love this move, you can take your foot a bit further forward and drop the pelvis down into a little bit of a lunge. But if you've had an achy pubic bone, maybe keep it a bit more contained. Keep your foot in a little bit, keep your circles a little bit higher. Good. So one more lovely big circle with the bottom here. And then we're going to walk that left foot in. So it's going to basically go where your left hand is, and then start to walk yourself up the body. So we're in a little 90-90 with the legs again. If you want more through the legs, you can take the foot forward and drop into that lunge, but just keep the knee over the ankle, and if anything, steering towards your little toe. And then keep that hand on the leg and bring your right arm all the way up and just come into a little side bend. So I'll just show you that one from the front. If you feel a bit wobbly, just turn your front toes out. It will just give you a bit of stability. We're coming into a little side bend. And if you love this one, you can maybe wiggle that foot further forward, take your pelvis forward and down, lift up through the waist as you reach out through your fingers. So it's a really lovely space-making stretch. Just take one more breath into that, and then bring that hand all the way down. We're going to bring that leg back in. Come back down onto all fours, and then this time bring your right foot up so it's on the outside edge of your right hand. Toes slightly pointing out. Knee circles around the foot, this time in a clockwise direction. So going to the big toe, rolling out to the little, dropping back to the heel. Once you've got the direction, circle it from your bottom. So send your awareness into your sit bones, maybe lowering that pelvis a little bit more towards the floor if that feels good for you. If not, staying a little bit high in the movement and not dropping in so deep. Take a deep breath in. Come back to birth breathing. Lovely big sigh. Loose jaw. Hot sigh from the back of the throat, as if you're steaming up your sunglasses to give them a clean. Good, and then we're going to bring that foot slightly closer in, so it's going to go underneath where your right hand was, there or thereabouts. Walking up into your 90-90. If you wanted a little bit more, just slide that foot forward, bring the knee in so it's over the ankle, if anything going towards the little toe. Just going to lean on that leg, and then when you're ready, dropping the pelvis just a little bit, inhale, other arm up, and gently come over. So lovely big breaths into the belly here. Really nice if you've had round ligament pain. just to breathe into the tummy. We're helping those ligaments find a little bit of space. So the next time the belly grows, the space is going to already be there. Maybe a little bit of rolling the tailbone under, might feel more supported. Inhale, lift up through those ribs. Exhale, see if you can bring your hand over just a little bit more if that's comfortable for you. One more breath here, feeling stable and strong. And then gently ease yourselves back out. Really well done. We're just going to come back down onto the floor. So grabbing your pillow once more, folding it up and placing it underneath your bottom. We're going to have both legs out in front of us. Just bring the toes back towards your face. So you just have a little stretch out through the backs of the legs. Spread the toes, kick out through the heels. Just enjoy that little stretch. If you want to lean forward a millimetre, it will make it stronger. And then bending your right knee, we're going to bring that right foot to the floor. Wiggle your bump inside the thigh and then clasp the knee with your elbow. Hold on to both elbows and sit up really tall. So as I look at my elbows, they're making a perfect little rectangle. Keep your other leg active. Toes towards your face, spread the toes. Deep breath into the belly here to help get into your digestive system. Just giving it a little kind of squish and massage. And then take your left hand down behind you. Prop yourself up by pressing the fingers into the floor. And then inhale your right arm up and bring it across to the outside edge of your left knee, just so you've got a little bit of support through the hand. Look out the corner of your eyes over your left shoulder as you gently spiral your spine, and continue to take lovely big soft breaths into a relaxed belly. Now be careful that your right knee, the one that's bent, hasn't flopped out to the side. So if it's gone out to the side, just step onto that foot and press it down. Just going to take 2 more breaths here, if that's okay with you today. If not, ease out. Again, just make the practice work for you. And then when you're ready, we gently come back out and we let that leg come down. Okay, last side, you guys. So placing the left foot fairly close in towards you, wiggling that bump inside the thigh. You're going to have quite a gap from your foot to your other thigh. It's probably about 6 inches wide. So there's lots of space there. And then catching the elbow around the knee. Catching opposite elbows as you pull yourself in to sit up tall. Right toes back towards your face. Kick out through the heel and take those lovely big breaths into your belly. So we're now massaging the descending colon and the other digestive organs on the left side of the belly. As you breathe into that belly, it's getting pressed onto the thigh. So it's rather like you're giving your babies a little hug with your leg. It's that kind of level. Don't want it too strong. You just want to feel a little squash around the side of the tummy. Good, now take your right arm down behind you, prop yourself up, inhale, left arm goes tall, exhale, back of the hand against the outside of your right knee, and then gently twist your spine as you look over your right shoulder and out the corner of your eyes. Being careful your left knee's not flopped out to the side, stand clearly into your left foot as you sit up tall and just get that lovely perspective as you look all the way behind you. Really, really well done, everybody. Beautiful practice. Really kind of controlled and aware, very present. So taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. Just breathing into your spine and easing into your twist if the space is there. No pulling or pushing. Always go with grace. Always go with ease. And then coming back to center. Good, so we'll just finish up by bringing the feet back into easy pose. See if you can have the less comfortable leg in front this time, so not your favorite side. And we're going to just close with the hands in prayer at the heart. So bowing your head down, relaxing your tummy, And take a big breath into your tummy and your heart. And a big sigh out. And then let the breath go. Just let it be natural. As you bow the head a little bit more. And quietly just breathe into that open heart space. As if you've got a little door in your heart. And you can breathe in all that light, all that love. Feel it expand. Maybe feel it glow. Notice any colours that might come to mind or sensations. And you can breathe that in through that little door in your heart from the front of the body. It can come in from the back of the body. And then once you feel it kind of increasing all around the heart, we're going to just send it down to the babies. Visualize that connecting in with your babies, nourishing them in your love. And then send that lovely light energy to the fingertips, to the tips of the toes, to the crown of your head. So just every cell of your body having a little honour, a little bit of care. Notice any sensations or tingles. And then when you're ready, just leaning forward, place both hands on the floor and take 3 huge sighs here. Relaxing your body, relaxing your head. Connecting into the earth to ground. And maybe feeling that warm, calming energy moving down through your body, through your hands into the earth. Just rooting you down into the earth. Helping you feel stable and present. And then when you're ready, we're going to curl up for Shavasana. So time for your relaxation. So make sure you're nice and warm. Maybe pop on a cardigan or your socks or grab a blanket. Use your pillow folded in half or 2 pillows under your head as you lie down on your left side. Cara, you can lie on your back still because you're only around 14 weeks, but if your back starts to ache or you feel out of breath, just roll onto your side or bend the knees if you're on your back. You can always put some pillows under your knees. And then maybe playing some nice music if you haven't already got that going. Just give yourself a minute to get really comfortable. Be having a sip of water before you get down there. Even using your sofa or your bed if that's nearby, you're very welcome to do that. So we're going to come into Shavasana and have a little relax for the next few minutes.